Hello, everybody. I'm from Armenia. I want to talk about the invasive species problem in Armenia. As we know, invasive species is one of the thanks. Invasive species is the second main threat for biodiversity in global scale, and not the exception Armenia too. In the case that Armenia is a very small country with a high species richness and high diversity of habitats and vegetation types. Just a few facts about flora and vegetation of Armenia. We have more than 3,800 vascular plant species, including 142 endemic plants and 452 rare and endangered species. If it interests more than 40 natural protected areas and 22 sites of Emerald network, which is the continuing part of the Natura 2000. Habitats of Armenia. We have 750 habitat types in Armenia, and all vegetation types excluding just tropic forests. We have everything in Armenia. It's a mountainous country with really, really high diversity of natural conditions. The problem of invasive plants in Armenia is really important, but I should say that this is not estimated and has not enough attention in Armenia. During the last 10 years, the researchers from Institute of Botany of National Academy of Sciences are doing some small projects and researches in different cases related to the invasive plants. But as you understand, this is not enough. We have just one publication, a big publication, manuscript. This is a book, Invasive and Expensive Species of Armenia, which I bring with me. It's in Russian with a short description in English, which you can see here. We can find all data collected till 2013 based on the literature, based on herbarium data. But I should say that during 3 years after this data collection, the spread of the many invasive species are changed. I want to show just a few results of our researches. We do different studies with invasive species, but I should mention that all these studies more scientific than practical. And this is our problem, because we have no legislation, we have no regulation, management, prevention and control measures for invasive plants in Armenia. And the public awareness is in very low level, and this is also a problem for us. Like, we have a large scale for working in a practical and in a scientific level. And I hope that during and after this conference, I can get a good feedback, I don't know, comments, recommendation, how to bring a big project to do all these activities, just to start these activities. We are studying population dynamic of some species. I include just the species which can be interested for this auditorium. We do this study of distribution, current and future distribution of some species, and we are collecting new data of distribution of invasive species in Armenia. I want to show in this map that you can see red dots. This is distribution before 2013, and 1 dot is the new data which we collect during the last 3 years. Look how it changed. And as a case study, I want to talk about Ambrosia artemisifolia researches in Armenia. Why this? Because this is my main topic during last year. And we do a large-scale research in this, for this plant. This is population dynamics research, modeling of distribution, population genetics, cytogenetics, biochemistry, interaction between gregweed and vegetation types and habitats, impacts on human health. For Ambrosia artemisifolia, I have lots of collaborators from different countries. It's Belarus for biochemistry and analysis, France for population genetics, and Austria. And for modeling of distribution and population dynamics, it's Switzerland, University of Freiburg. This is main habitat when you can find Ambrosia artemisifolia, and I should mention that this should be a quarantine weed for Armenia too, because it spread in all recreation zones and recreation regions of Armenia. I want, as a case study of modeling of possible distribution changes under climate change scenarios for Armenia, also for Ambrosia artemisifolia, I should mention that Armenia is the best zone for study of climate change impacts, because at first it's visible the impact of climate change in Armenia on vegetation and plant distribution. And the second, that because of diversity of natural conditions and species richness, it's more important for us for conservation of biodiversity and agrobiodiversity. We choose a different biomodeling scenarios and climate change scenarios. I show just one, the best one. Yeah, as you can see, it will spread more and more in all parts of Armenia. And if will be other invasion wave for Armenia, maybe it will be more and larger. Ongoing research for 2006-2007. I mentioned all these things for Ambrosia, and it will be done for all other species too, if we will have a financing, or such will be such enthusiastic to do without funding. And what should be done for Armenia? I think more important to elaborate and to implement national strategy, action plan, prevention and control measures, and should be developed regional system of observation, long-term monitoring system, prevention and control of measures, researches for understanding pathway of invasions. And thanks to my team and all collaborators, and to you for attention.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Yes, please.
Just the question about Heracleum, because I might be wrong, but I think somewhere near you the native French could be, because as I remember, no, or more in the, no, just I thought maybe somewhere in Turkey, and there are some of the Heracleum, but I might be wrong, maybe. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but it's possible that you can find the same species of Heracleum in Turkey, in Georgia, in Iran. Yeah, it could be, but I don't know, is it native for these countries, or it's also invasive species? Yeah, I didn't mention that we have about 400 alien plants, from which 25% is invasive, or potentially invasive. It's too much, I think, for Armenia.
Okay, other questions? Okay, from my side, perhaps one. You mentioned that there is a goal to create a list of the 20 most problematic invasive species for Armenia. What do you think, what is the top 5 recently among the plants?
Yes, because now we are doing pre-risk assessment, and I know some results. It will be Robinia pseudoacacia, Islandus, of course, Astragalus galligiformis, which I show, Ambrosia artemisifolia, one Acernegundo.
And what about the riverine habitats?
Actually, we have no many wetland invasive species. That's why I can't really say which one will be in the top 20 species from wetlands.
I see. Okay. Thank you very much.